What that means is when you focus on a thought, the thought goes away because those. So I want to go back to something that we kind of skipped over here for, those of you listening, you might want to know what we're talking about when we talk about metacognitive exercise. In the metacognitive exercise, we call it moment mindfulness, and it's very easy to do. All you do is just notice that you're thinking. And the instant you notice that you're thinking, you activate the task positive network in your brain, which is what Christina was referring to a minute ago. The task positive network is the network in the brain we use when we focus and concentrate.
The only thing in your awareness is that there's a movie and you're sucked in, then that is your task positive network.
And the other network we're talking about here is the default mode network. And the default mode network is the network in the brain that produces the internal narration. So getting back to this, the default mode network and the task positive network are negatively correlated. And what that means is when you focus on a thought, the thought goes away because those networks switch in the brain, and that function is the core of how I do psychotherapy. Somebody to do this exercise, eventually they have this realization that the voice in their head is not who they are. And the instant that happens, anxiety, depression, relationship problems, all of that stuff takes on a completely different perspective.
And it's so crazy because the default mode network and your limbic system, like they're telling you a story of how you need to survive, of what things are going to pop up and go wrong. And so they're supposed to help you live. They torture you. If you don't know how to say, like, okay, sorry, I don't have to believe you, voice, like, then I don't know, it's responsible for a lot of suffering. So it is so cool to just hear it be quiet and realize, like, oh, that's who I am. It's the awareness that's left when the voice is gone.
It's the part of the brain we share with other animals, so it's all about survival, as she said. And it's almost completely wired up by the time we're 5 or 6 years of age.
We got to go to our higher brain when we need to make grown-up choices.
And the anterior cingulate gyrus turns the emotional pain into suffering. It's thinking about the pain, and then the default mode network gives us a narrative about the pain.
Right.
And so we poor human beings, we have this whole system in the brain that turns pain into suffering and then talks about it continuously. It's all related to the narrative in our head only because we have identified that narrator as ourselves, and that is not true.